Bonjour et bienvenue to Baking with Marion. Okay, I don't know how to say all of that in French, but hello. Today we're going to make French onion soup. It is so easy. I love it, and it's good. And quite frankly, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be making anything anyway if I didn't like it. So that's why we're doing all of this. First of all, I have several things that I have to get ready. I have to get my bouillon ready, and I just use bouillon, right? And I believe it's 1 teaspoon in 1 cup of boiling water to make 1 cup broth. Well, I need, this recipe calls for 4 cups of bouillon or broth, which is what I'm doing right now. So I have my teaspoon. I have my 4-cup measuring, liquid measuring cup. And what I usually do when it tells me I've got to do that, since I know I'm going to be heating it up anyway, I will go ahead and turn my water on, my hot water on, and as soon as it gets steamy, that's when I just fill this up. In the meantime, I'm going to get my 4 teaspoons for my 4 cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other thing that I have to get ready is, I'm looking. Oh yeah. I think we've got steam going. Okay, I'll need a spoon. Good enough. Now I'm just going up to the 4-cup mark. There we go. Now if you happen to have some of that bottled stock, you can use it, or if you have other bouillon, you can use it. This is what I do, okay? If you only have a 2-cup measurer or a 1-cup measurer, then that's what you use, and you figure out how many of those spoonfuls you need. Like I said, I read the label, and it said 1 teaspoon for 1 cup. Well, I got 4 cups, so I need 4 teaspoons. Do the math. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, good. That's good. It'll probably not get totally mixed in, dissolved into the water, because it's not boiling water, but that's okay, because soon I'm going to be over on the stove. Well, not me personally, sitting on the stove. No. That will be in my pan. All right, the other thing I have to do is, I got my oven on, because guys, I need toast. And you think, then aren't you going to use your toaster? I don't like the toasters that I keep getting. Either they're too expensive or I just don't like them. They don't work well enough. I don't like it. So I just toast my bread in the oven. So that's what I'm going to do. Whoa. So I turned my oven on hot so it could get that toast toasty real quick. And so that's what I'm doing. But if you have some bread, then go ahead and get it toasted in your toaster if that's what you have, or in the oven if that's what you have. I've got mine on 375, but ordinarily if you have just a toaster, you might want to put it on like 300, maybe 350, because we are going to melt some mozzarella on the bread. Now you notice that my bread looked a little bit smaller. That's because I made it myself one day, and so I'm going to have a thin slice. Notice I'm keeping my fingers away. I'm using the top to push down as I cut the mozzarella cheese. If you're allowed to use a knife, do that. If you are not allowed, then you've got to get somebody else to help you. Now I'm going to do one more little bitty slice, not for my bread, but for me. Okay. So there's my mozz cheese. I'll put it aside. I don't have anything to put that in. That's okay. To the side. I need a 1/4 cup of butter. I love these. See? Right? Where is it? Right there to that line is a 1/4 cup of butter. So I take my knife, I go right through there. Now if your butter is kind of the big block that doesn't have the measurements on it, I mean, I'm afraid we have we have a really big one, and oh, let's see, 1/4 cup is only to there. So it does have measurements on here, but if you've got, like this, sometimes we put our butter in the container and we leave it out so it's nice and soft. Just get a 1/4 cup, a 1/4 cup, and then you can scoop it up and make sure you press that butter in so you get enough butter for this. So I need a 1/4 cup of butter. Yay! Make sure your oven is on. In fact, get that to 375. If I had my toast ready and my cheese ready and the rest of it ready, then I might have put it up or down to 300 so that I could start it melting slowly and while I do all this. But I'm kind of getting done fast. So I'm going to leave it at 375, and when it's time to melt that mozzarella cheese, then it'll go a little faster, and everything should be done at approximately the same time. Okay, so I got to check my toast so I don't burn it. I don't know if y'all ever do that, where you accidentally burn your toast. Okay. So this, now watch what else I do. So that it quickly melts in my pan, I'm going to make it into thin little strips here. There, that will melt in my pan really nice. Okay, so I put this in my big old cooking pan, okay? There we go. And what did I do with my paper towels? All right, guys, get your paper towels with you. Good. Now it's onion time. So what we have to do, I'm going to stir that right quick just to keep it, trying to get it to dissolve. I'll show you how to cut this onion, just in case you're not sure. First of all, be safe. If you're not supposed to use a knife at home, let somebody else do it. If you can, then be safe. Keep your fingers not over here where they might get cut with the knife. Pull them back a little bit. So here's what I do. It says in the recipe that you need 2 onions to what, medium sized or something? Too large? Oh, well, I have onions. Then I go like that. Then usually I cut this off first. Sure, in front of the camera, suddenly I can't do anything that I normally do. Can't seem to get anything right. But that's okay, because it'll be good. Okay, so then where I split it, there it is. I'm able just to take that off, and ta-da, that is off. Now, it wants it to be, the recipe calls for thinly sliced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to half this onion, and then I'm going to slice it thin. See that? Whoa. Now if you're lucky, your toaster will automatically pop up, thank you, oven, and tell you that your toast is done, and it won't keep browning to the point that it's black. So let me look. It is fine right now. I still want it to toast up a little more. Okay, good. So I'm going to keep slicing these thin. Just keep those fingers back. Do not cut yourself. If you do cut yourself, I hope you know what to do. Gotta wash it out. Put some pressure on it so it'll stop bleeding. There we go. Okay, now I gotta do the second onion. So excited. French onion soup is so easy. Très facile. That is my French for the day. Or maybe not. If I think of another word that's easy for me to say, I'll say it. Deux onions. Oh no, I can't pronounce onion anymore. In French, I mean. Deux is two. 2 onions. Oignon. There we go, I think. And if you're French, speak French really fluently, you can have a good laugh at my French. How's that? Alright, gonna do the same thing. There we go. You know, I saw something that talked about how to cut onions so they don't make your eyes water, and I totally forgot about it. It was saying get a piece of paper towel and wet it. Is that right? And then chop it on that. Great, because I am just about ready to bawl. I'm crying. Oh. Okay, almost done with this. I bet my toast is getting too burnt. I hope not. I should have paid attention. But that's okay. I was paying attention to onion and to weeping. Alright, let me look at my toast. Close enough. Alright, very good. So, at this point, I am going to put my slices of mozzarella cheese over the toast. I'm going to put this in the oven, and then I'm going to turn the oven off. Because then it won't cook up and burn the mozzarella cheese, I hope. So, what I'm going to do now is I need to take you over and have you watch what I do with these onions, okay? So, just a minute. Okay, you guys, now we're over here. I'm going to turn on my stove for this burner, and we will get the butter all melted. So, on with that. There we go. Alrighty. Now I'm going to get a spatula. Hold on. Make sure you have your spatula too. You know what? You don't need a spatula. You need a spoon. Because we're going to... No. Never mind. The spatula will work for the onion. So while this gets all nice and warm and melts, I'm going to bring the onion over here and be ready to throw it in. Alright, now we're waiting. I'll pause you until the butter melts. Oh, and you might want to check your toast with the mozzarella on it, okay? We don't want that to get burned. It looks like my mozzarella cheese is doing okay. Alright. And my butter is almost melted. Okay. Still not done yet. So, pause.
Here are some fun facts about onions. The onion was worshipped by ancient Egyptians. The sulfuric compounds in onions cause us to cry when we chop them. To cut down on the crying, chill the onion and cut into the root end of the onion last. Another trick when cutting an onion is to place a wet paper towel on the board or as close as possible. Wild onions grow on nearly every continent. Eating parsley will help get rid of onion breath.
So while I was waiting for my butter to melt, I decided I should go ahead and get my bouillon over here. That might help things out a little bit. And it looks like my butter is melted and sizzling a little bit. So it's time to put in the onion. Now, this isn't hot. I knew that, so I'm going to be able to put that down. Make sure that yours isn't hot, but maybe you don't want to put your fingers all over it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm kind of separating out the onions, the onion pieces there, as best I can, because I don't want clumps of onion. I want the onion all through the French onion soup. There we go. You know, one day I may just have to go to France, maybe longer for a day if I'm going to go, and see if they make French onion soup the way I make French onion soup. I'm going to have to say I bet not, because the French have a way of cooking things differently that tastes so good, I think. Oh, I know, I could find a French restaurant, see if they make it right. A French chef. There we go, there we go. Okay, got them. You know, I am taking way too long with this. I guess I'm just kind of playing with the onions, huh? Can you hear it sizzling? Can you hear yours sizzling? I hope yours is sizzling. And what we're going to do is make sure that this onion becomes clear. That means it's nice and cooked. And ready for the bouillon to go in. Oh, check your cheese. Yep, it's melting and it's still hot in that oven, even though I turned it off. All right, onion, let's go, let's go, let's go. I suppose I could just drop all of this into the pan and then stir it around and hope that it breaks up with the spatula. But when I've done that, usually I have to work really hard at getting the onion all sorted so that it's all not all together anymore. Layers. The onion has layers like an ogre. Of course, I can't do the accent. Name that movie. Shrek. That's right. Gotta practice that accent and get it down really well. I can do the French accent, kind of, sort of. If anybody was really French, they would again have to laugh at me. But for now, I can pretend that absolutely none of you know how to do the French accent. And therefore, I may sound so impressive, n'est-ce pas? That means right, isn't it so? Oui. Shall I teach you some French words while we get this onion cooking? Oui. Yes. No. No. Cuisiner is to cook. La cuisine is the kitchen. Oh boy. Come on, onion, let's get done. There we go. Oh, it smells good, and it's just onion. I can't believe that. Oh, I cannot wait. I think it's been a long time since I've made French onion soup. Okay, that's the end of the onion, and I don't want it in the French onion soup. La soupe. There we go. Real quick, I'm going to check. Yeah, okay, fine. It's all right. And now we stir that around. Now I hear that onion can be a very healthy thing for you when you're sick. So now you know how to make some French onion soup, and you can eat the French onion soup and hope that it helps to make you better. I just keep kind of stirring it around. I look for the pieces that might be a little not clear. Can you see the difference? Maybe on your own you can see the difference. I mean, when you're cooking this up. I can see some that are a little more white. A lot of these are kind of clear. So I'm almost there. Almost. So close. So close. I think I'm taking too long, quite frankly. It's just fun to play with onions and butter and to smell it. Can you smell it? Well, if you're doing this with me, then I bet you can. Alrighty. Very good. Et maintenant, which means and now, it's time to put in the bouillon. I'm going to do a quick stir of that again, just to make sure that anything that hasn't dissolved is up from the bottom. Oh, and here we go. Oh, I don't want to yet. Sorry, I'm seeing some of these that are just a little more done than others, and I think, ooh, I want all of them to be done like that. All right, I'll pour it in. Here we go. There we go. And there is my bouillon, which will get nice and hot. Now, I need my spoon. Or my dipper. I can use my dipper for this. See, I have a dipper. I better check on the melted cheese. It's looking good, it's looking good. I want something to actually stir the soup with. Yeah. Go for the spoon. The big spoon. I'm going to let that get all nice and hot again. Now the next thing it says is to season, which is basically season to taste. As in, how do you like your soup? Very spicy? Do you want more than just the onion and all of that? I'm going to use salt and pepper, and that's all I'm going to use, because I really like the onion flavor. So a little bit of pepper on there, a little bit of salt on there. And we're just going to stir that up. Now it says to get soup plates out. Those are the kind of bowls that are more, they're bigger, wider, and they don't go as deep. And that would be a soup plate. But I don't have a soup plate. I'm just going to use a soup bowl. If I ever get soup plates, maybe I'll have my French onion soup in a soup plate. N'est-ce pas? Très bien. D'accord. I'm going to scoot y'all back. Okay, very good. Because I'm going to put the bowls right here. And here's what you're going to do. Well, first of all, I have to get the bowls out. Which ones? Now my bread pieces are kind of small, so I can use just a regular sized bowl. So that's a pretty flat bowl compared to something that's, see, this one's deeper. I don't want the deep, I want the shallow to let that French onion soup spread out and to be able to put the mozzarella toast on it. Anything else? Season, good. Alright, here we go. Now I am not going to use this spoon because that is not going to give me enough Is it hot though? That's what we need to know. Yeah, that's hot. I'm sure you wanted to see me do that. Don't do that, people. Don't burn your little fingers. I know, have one of your parents do that. Hey Mom, Dad, can you come check this? See if it's hot? Just put your finger in it. They may not appreciate that at all. Okay, so here's how you can know if it's hot. First of all, is it steaming? See all that steam? Yeah. And are you getting little bubbles? Time to check my Mott's. Yeah, it's fine still. Ooh, while I'm waiting for that to get... Okay, here's the deal. When I eat soup, I really like it to start out too hot to eat. And it will slowly get cooler and I'll be able to get it all nice and warm inside me. So I don't want to get it into the bowls too fast. So I'm going to get my soup spoons. I may not have a soup bowl or soup plate, but I do have soup spoons. I just thought that would be cool to have one year. So, yep, I got it. All right. There we go. Got my soup spoons. And I am ready for this. Are you? So, I just scoop some up. I better hold this over here closer to the pan. I want the juice. I want the onions. Oh, you guys, if you start to get cold, because the weather's getting colder, what a nice thing to warm you up with. Like I said, I heard that onion can be great for the body if you're sick. Maybe you'll have to try it and tell me if it worked for you. Okay, so as you can see, I have a nice mixture of onions and the broth. Now it's time for the toast with the mozzarella cheese. It's really too bad that I put away that spatula, because here's what you do. Notice I have a pot holder. Yeah, because this is going to be hot. There we go. Now, of course, the soup will start getting soaked up by the bread, and that is okay. It makes it easier to chop up as you eat. So, you guys, that is it. That is French onion soup. Call everybody. Have them come have some and try some. And I will see you later. Bye now.